Hey everyone, it's Ken and Andrea here from Northern Viking Explorer. Today we want to share with you our review of the free food and restaurants that you'll find on the Norwegian Prima. There was so much food to try out, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, Andrea, the free food and restaurants on the Norwegian Prima.
Well, let's talk about it. So just to specify, we're going to talk about the free restaurants, not all the restaurants.
Yeah, we did eat at Cagney's Steakhouse.
Which was fantastic.
But we're not going to go into that. We're going to talk about the free food today. So let's start out with the main dining rooms.
I loved the big main dining room. I loved Hudson's.
Hudson's was my favorite out of the two. So there's the Commodore Room and Hudson's. Hudson's was much bigger. They both served the same food.
Same menu.
But Hudson's was glass floor to ceiling, kind of circular around the back of the ship.
If you like an ocean view, you want to go to Hudson's because it was beautiful.
And when you get a window seat, especially, it's a bonus, especially when you're in an inside cabin.
We realized maybe we like the window because we get the inside cabin. We take in the view while we can.
Yeah. So lots of natural light.
You might need to bring some sunglasses.
We did at one point.
Yeah.
Depends where you're sailing.
Or what angle the ship is at. So if you kind of don't like the sun shining on you, maybe look and ask for a seat away from the window. But if you're like me and you like the sun, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Really lovely.
And they have tablecloths. I know it's dumb. I really like the tablecloths.
I do too. I think it makes everything quieter. There's not the clanking of cutlery and cups, and it just seems formal. It's one of the reasons that I love to cruise. I feel like every night is date night.
Yeah.
And I get to go out on a date with you. We dress up, we clean up, and you get to sit at a nice formal. It feels classy. I love it. I really like it.
And the nice thing on the ship, I noticed the tables were not really tight. Like they were, they're still close, but sometimes on a cruise, your table is 6 inches from the next person.
Sometimes I thought I could just put my hand through. Maybe they're so tight.
So there was a little bit more distance, which was nice. Like people aren't necessarily listening to your conversation, but it was nice.
It was perfect. I loved it.
And one other big pro, physical menus. They actually don't assume that you're going to scan a QR code or a barcode to see the menu. It's just given to you, which makes me happy.
Oh, it feels less rushed too.
Yeah.
It's part of the dining experience to sit down and look at your menu. I do like to peek out the menu ahead of time, but that does help the dining experience.
Yeah. So I will throw in one wish here, though.
Okay.
The menus were often dirty. There was like smudges of food on them and stuff. So I wish if they see they're dirty,
don't reuse them.
Yeah, don't reuse them.
They are,
and not just once, like multiple times.
They're truly just a paper, like on a heavier paper stock. And they're not inside any kind of sleeve. No. So if people have handled food at all, then it transfers onto it. So sometimes it looks a little dirty. It's not the greatest.
But other than that, it was great. So quickly in the main dining room, we went for breakfast on a few occasions. There were some great things there. I really enjoyed the fruit salad.
Yes.
Mine actually on one occasion had like blackberries and blueberries on it, which was really good. We usually both get this fruit or the yogurt parfait. Yeah,
I do like that.
Yeah, so lots of different pastries and cinnamon buns, different things like that. Sometimes they'll even bring you like a basket of them, even if you only
ask for one.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh no, I have to eat them all, and it's like, no, I don't, but I want to.
So some of there's cinnamon raisin French toast. I know you've ordered that a few times.
That was good.
Lots of different eggs options, omelets. I like to order those. Eggs Benedict. I think you had that. So you can get like sausage, bacon, kind of all the fixings, hash browns with that. I've ordered this a few times now. It's called, I'm probably going to butcher how you say it, huevos rancheros. It's kind of in a tortilla breakfast. Like it's quite good.
It's a little spicy.
It is.
He likes spicy.
I enjoy that. And then for dinner, there's so many things to like. Appies, bruschetta. Yeah. That's one of my faves. Tostados. I haven't had that before, but it's like these loaded. There's like 3 of them, but they're loaded with all the toppings. I mean, there's way more than we're going to mention here, but the Asian spare ribs, beef slider.
That's totally
up my alley. Lots of different salads: Greek salad, spinach salad.
Love spinach.
Yeah. Any of those your favorites? There's mushrooms too. I think
I really like the salads. Were
okay.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you like the baby spinach salad. So some of the mains. So we had pork spare ribs. You had the shrimp fettuccine alfredo. And I think you ordered that twice.
I did.
Yeah.
And it is. I loved it. It also had mushrooms in it. It was so just perfection. I really like that one.
Some of the others, chicken piccata. They had a barbecue mix grill, which had, I think it was ribs and chicken and a sausage on it. You could get steak every day with fries. There's the fried chicken or country fried chicken, I think it was called. And way more than that. Fish, they had all sorts of stuff.
Again, not enough time to try everything.
Yeah. And desserts, creme brulee.
Oh, I love creme brulee. It's good.
But I'll name it last, my favorite one.
Yeah,
but
I
there
know
was
where you're going.
Carrot cake, cannolis.
That, I think, is the first time I've ever had a cannoli. And I have seen on Everybody Loves Raymond that Ray loves the cannolis. And now I know why, because I, too, love cannolis.
Cannolis? All right. I'll have to buy you some cannolis.
Yes, please.
There was different cakes, Black Forest cake, apple cobbler. The Snickers pound cake was really good.
Very sweet, very sweet.
And then our favorite was the Nutella creme brulee.
We might have to go back just for the Nutella creme brulee.
That was really good.
That was really good.
Yeah. So we'd already kind of mentioned the One Wish. The menus were kind of dirty. And the service was good, but the speed was kind of fluctuated a little bit.
It did fluctuate.
So
I don't mind that too much, but do be mindful of that if you're trying to catch a show. You're going to need to time that out, because just because you got through the day before quickly doesn't mean you'll necessarily get through today quickly.
Yeah.
So leave extra time.
Yeah. So the service was great in there, and we had a great experience, especially enjoyed the Hudsons.
Absolutely.
Now, the other area, there's 2...
Did we talk about the Commodore, though?
The Commodore Room?
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Well, we did say how it was the same menu and similar.
Yeah, but the food we just all went over.
The food is the same. I was going to say, though, they did have windows in there, but they're the big round windows.
Were they? I don't remember.
Yes, I remember, yeah.
Okay.
So, but it's doesn't have that same, feeling. So, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, it was still a nice restaurant, but a fair bit smaller.
Yeah, but if you're all about the view, go to Hudson.
Yes. All right. One of the coolest spots to eat on the ship.
This is a win.
Yeah.
Shine, star for me.
Indulge Food Hall. It was so cool. We went there lots of, for lunch quite a few times.
Many times.
And this is where the ship shines. So there was quite a few restaurants. So what it is, you sit down at a table, and there's a tablet at each table, and you can order from all these different restaurants, and they bring it out to you. I think almost everything there was complimentary or included with your cruise fare. There was some desserts, and Starbucks was in there. Those were not included, but for the most part, most of the food.
Not the beverages. Of course, you can
well, they
still
did have a complimentary beverage station in there.
They did, yes. But of course, if you're not on the alcohol package or whatever, you're going to pay for those drinks.
Yeah.
I will say, though, there were some spots up, I want to say at a raised bar along the different areas.
Yeah.
And those had a limited menu of only food for that area.
Okay, from that specific kind of food truck.
Yeah, so if you sat up at the bar in front of that kind of food truck, it was limited to that. But if you went and sat in a booth, you could order from
everywhere.
All of them.
Yeah. So there was some really cool restaurants in there. So the Garden, which had salads, you could put fish or meat. Chicken or beef on your salad.
Yeah.
I think we both ordered the kale one.
It was so good.
A few times.
I really enjoyed the fish. I know you enjoyed the steak.
Yeah. There's the Latin Quarter, which had guacamole nachos, totopo. I don't know how to say it. to Topo's, I think. It was like fully loaded nachos.
We're used to going out to a restaurant where they charge you extra for the guacamole, okay?
Yeah.
And you get your little tablespoon on the side. Wow. They like pile on that guacamole. Like I was just so happy.
It was good, yeah. So the Latin Quarter, if you like that kind of stuff, the tostados and different things. The Texas Smokehouse, pulled pork sandwiches, turkey sandwiches, different salads, potato salads, that kind of stuff. So more of the meat style. The Seaside Rotisserie, so chicken, beef shish kebabs, that kind of stuff, which was really good. There was tapas, so
I had fun trying these.
Yeah, meats and cheeses. There was those dates covered in, I think, bacon. The tamara, I believe, was that Indian inspired, I believe?
I believe so.
So fish, chicken, rice, noodles.
I had that one time.
Yeah, so there's pad thai, noodle soup, that kind of stuff. And then I think there was also an area, I don't remember what it's called. So the desserts you would go get
Self-serve,
yourself. They were self-serve and you would grab them. But there was also an area, there was a dessert area where a lot of it you had to pay for, but then there was an area where you could get free hard scooped ice cream. So look around, because sometimes there might be a couple other cool things there.
And the lunch and the dinner menu, though, were different. We never went there for dinner, but we did try it for breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, so breakfast, we did... It wasn't as big as the buffet, but it had, bacon, sausage, eggs, cereal, yogurt.
It's more of a grab and go.
Yeah, so or a self-serve.
And self-serve. It is quicker.
Yeah.
And you'd really like, too, though, that they did have the complimentary beverage station there.
I did, and they had little plastic cups, so if you wanted to grab something and go, you could easily do that.
They were the same size as the Starbucks cups, I noticed.
Okay.
They just had a different logo on them. And that is the only place I found on Deck 8 that had the complimentary beverage station.
Well, because right outside of there was the hydration station, and I went there to get water, and then it was all beer and wine. And I'm like, well, okay.
So that would be a big wish, is to have water at the hydration station.
Yes, I would agree.
I love water outside.
It was hot on our Caribbean cruise.
Yeah.
So, if they'd had water there, that would have been
It would have stopped us from walking through the restaurant all the time.
So let's jump back up to the Lido deck. So the Surfside grill, I think? Or is it buffet? Cafe?
I'm not sure.
One of them is the cafe, one of them is the grill. There's the buffet.
Yes.
So the food was the area was small, but the food was good.
Yes. Yeah.
So I enjoyed,
and the variety was good.
Yeah. So they had thick crust pizza. I think that might be the first time I've seen thick crust pizza.
Now, but was that just at lunch or breakfast? Because sometimes during the day it was thin crust, and other times of the day it was thick crust.
But they made it right there in the buffet. But I was happy because I really like the thick crust. And so when I saw that over the thin crust, because sometimes it was thin crust.
Yes, so, it varied from time to time.
Yeah. And it did, of course, the buffet varies throughout the week, but they had some really cool things. They had tacos one night.
Crepe station.
There was lots of fun desserts. And so at the back, that's what it's called. The Surfside Grill is at the back. So that's where it's kind of a burger bar. Where there was patties, hot dogs, and you could make your own burger, some salads. So that's kind of attached to it, but it's at the back. I do have a couple quick wishes, though.
Yes.
The Surfside Grill where the burgers was at the wrong end.
Yes.
Of the buffet. You had to walk through all the buffet, from the pool, walk through all the buffet to the back to grab it.
To get a burger.
And typically you would want that by the pool. So it just felt like in the wrong end, because a lot of people just want to grab that, go sit back out in their lounger, and it just felt the wrong place. And the other thing, actually this isn't a wish, this is actually a really good pro.
Okay.
I call it the bacon police.
And this is very important for Ken.
Well, no, they didn't seem stingy. So sometimes we've been on a cruise and there's the reason I call it bacon police, because they'll hand you, if you want bacon, they'll just give you one strip, and they limit, and then you'd have to come back. Or it's
not every day, it's every other day.
Yeah, and whereas this, it was just a
Help
pile
yourself.
of bacon. Not that I want a lot of bacon, but it's they're not being stingy about it. So I appreciate that.
I do too.
Any other thoughts about the buffet area?
You know, I just wanted to say one thing about where you said where the hamburgers and stuff were. Yeah. So if you stepped outside of that area too, you were overlooking the vibe area.
Okay, yeah.
And so then you kind of felt sad that you weren't
in the vibe.
You weren't in the vibe. The vibe looks really nice.
I should mention there was also a couple of complimentary beverage stations in there. So typically in the morning they'd have some juices, and then coffee and teas, and then later in the day it would be like fruit, mango or something punch type of thing with lemonade and iced tea, and then coffee and teas. So that's where you would get your complimentary beverages. So I mean the food was, I was happy.
It was nice. I liked it.
So now this is the other place I really like on the ship.
Okay. Yeah.
The local bar and grill.
Yes, and this is such a hit by Norwegian. It's something that we have enjoyed in the past.
Yeah. So there's two halves, or I should almost call it three. There's the bar side of the local bar and grill. There's the restaurant side, and then you can sit outside as well. The
outside part is part of the restaurant part. The wait staff come to you there.
Yeah. So it's open all day. They do have breakfast, I think. We never went there for breakfast, but they do have breakfast. They have kind of lunch, dinner, and then late night options, which is less. But we're open until 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I believe the local used to be open 24 hours a day, but it's till 3:30 in the morning. We're not up that late, so it doesn't bother us.
No, but it is nice if it's midnight and you're hungry.
Yeah.
There is options, and not just a little tiny sandwich.
And
there's
good stuff
options,
too. Wings. Yeah. I don't remember what you could get late at night, but for sure at lunch, dinner they had things like wings, so buffalo wings, smoked barbecue, and sweet and chili wings. Loaded nachos. Those great.
Are good.
Those are really good. Yeah. Pretzel bites. You could get salads. They had Caesar salad. And I want to say the Caesar salad on this ship is probably the best.
You like
on all the cruises we've been on.
And Ken loves Caesar salad.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't think they're all equal. So this was a winner for him.
Fish sandwiches, burgers.
The fish sandwich, it is good. It's not greasy.
It looked like it was almost fish and chips in the sandwich.
It did. So
or not chips, but fish.
It's deep fried.
Yeah.
But it's not like, it's done right. It's not all oily.
Yeah.
It was tasty.
Yeah.
Really tasty.
There was a few burgers to choose from, as well as you could get fish and chips there. So some great options. So a couple of other wishes, though. I think the ship could use another couple of complimentary beverage stations.
That would be nice.
Or like you'd mentioned,
even just water would be lovely. Yeah.
But any other thoughts on the free food?
No, I've always thought Norwegian does a great job on their food, and I enjoyed our food.
And there was in the observation lounge there was a small little buffet with
some sandwiches
and desserts and coffee, tea, and
as well as a bar there
water.
You could order stuff from. It was
so lots of free food. I didn't feel like we were eating the same thing over and over again all week.
And the good thing is the way Norwegian has done it is they have spread the food out over the ship. So you're either up on the Lido deck or you can be down on deck 8. There's lots of options. You're not all crammed into one space. I highly recommend, though, trying indulge and going to the local. Don't just think buffet unless you really love the buffet. But
those other options were...
There's a lot of options where this
awesome.
It shines amazingly.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we had a great experience with the free food and restaurants on the Norwegian Prima, and I'm sure you will as well.